policy, NIEO, RBI, SEBI, and World Bank. So my objective of today's class is that today I'll be giving an overview of all these topics so that you will get to know what these topics are all about, what are the important points. So I will try to give a recap of all these topics. So these PPTs are actually already shared with you. Okay. So quickly, I'll just discuss with you what is World Bank. Okay, World Bank is actually also known as IBRD. Okay, the headquarter of World Bank is at Washington DC. Okay, so International Bank for Reconstruction and Development (IBRD) is commonly referred as World Bank, and it is actually an international financial institution whose purpose is to give the assistance of to the developing to for the development of the member nations. Okay, so it is actually an international financial institution whose purpose include assisting the development of its member nations territories, promoting and supplementing private foreign investments and promoting long run balanced growth in international trade. So the objective of World Bank is to promote the international trade, to give a scope for the balanced growth, right? So all the member countries can avail this facility. So World Bank is actually taking care of all the nations, all the members who are associated with it, and it also look into the promotional aspect of the different members country in terms of their trade and in terms of providing various kinds of facilities to them. Now, if you look into what are the functions of this World Bank, just wait for a while. I think I've shared that. Just wait for a while, okay? Actually, I think I've shared a wrong PPT, so wait.
Okay.
Okay. Now it is visible to all. Okay. Now I'll just discuss with you the different functions of this bank. So the first function which I've written in the slide is to assist in the construction and development of territories of its members by facilitating the investments of capital for productive purposes. So the purpose of this bank is actually to provide the encouragement for development. Okay, development of productive facilities and resources. Resources to whom? Resources to the less developed countries. So the purpose of this bank is to provide the facility of investment of capital so that these capitals can be used for the productive purposes. These investments are actually done in order to restore the economies who have destroyed. Okay, so it may happen that there may be some war or there may be some disruption that has been caused due to the war in different economies. So the World Bank will actually help these less developed countries and will provide the resources. Their second objective is to promote the private investment and long-term balanced growth of international trade and balance of payment equilibrium. Okay, so the purpose is to guarantee that all the international loans and investments are there to promote that, to promote the balanced growth. Whatever whosoever have joined this World Bank, here the objective of World Bank is to provide the balanced development. If they are facing any balance BOP disequilibrium, then that has to be removed. Okay, so the active participation of World Bank is there so that the countries will grow in terms of international trade, and there will be no deficits or there will be no this equilibrium in the balance of payment. The third point is to arrange loan made or guaranteed by it. So whatever loan actually different countries, if they are running some projects, it is very much important that they should be given some loan facility. So World Bank actually arranged those loan, and they and these member countries, they also assure that the loan which is provided to them will be used properly, and the urgent projects will be taken care. The next point is to provide finance to project from its own capital fund raised by it. Okay, so it is very much important that the financial assistance should be given to the participating member countries, so that with the help of the funds which is being provided to them, they can start their projects, they can meet any deficiency which is there in the economies, or they can overcome any balance of payment deficit if it is there in their country. So moreover, I would like to say you, like, these bank actually provide advices also. These bank also provide these are actually the technical institute which can provide you assistance in infrastructure assistance. They can also give you, they can also provide you technical assistance. Okay, so over the year, it has been seen that the World Bank has been providing or disseminating the relevant knowledge, and today it has been considered as the most important sources of finance for the other countries. And World Bank is also known as the organization which is also known for the knowledge bank, because these banks are having good knowledge. They can provide you better institutional and technical assistance and infrastructure assistance. Now, moving to the next slide, the objectives. So the first objective is to provide long-run capital to the member for economic reconstruction and development. I think there's nothing to explain on this. It means that whosoever is the member of the country, they will get a economic support. They can reconstruct their countries. They can go for a different development projects. To induce long-run capital investment for assuring balance of payment equilibrium. Okay, so if there is a balance of payment problem is there, or if that international trade is not properly developed, then then the World Bank will provide support for the balanced development of the international trade. To provide the guarantee for loan granted to small and larger units and other projects of member countries. So World Bank are actually the good sources, and they provide the guarantee of loan even to the small units, or it can also be provided to the larger units, so that the member countries can run their different projects. Okay. The next point is to ensure the implementation of development projects. If your development in your country is not the development projects have stopped due to some reason, or it is not active, then the World Bank can provide you financial assistance so that you can smoothly run your development projects. You can overcome the war, after war effects in your country, or you can also restore the peace in your economy. Okay. So World Bank, they also provide capital investment in the member country. How they will do it? By providing you the private loans, by providing you different capital investments. Okay. The IBRD, they provides loan for productive activities. Okay. For productive activities, it's not like that you will use those funds for your private consumption, because you have to give in future date, you have to also explain where you have used those funds. Now coming to the function, quickly, the first function is that the World Bank provides various technical services to the member countries. Okay, for this purpose, the bank established the Economic Development Institutes and Staff College in Washington. I told you that the World Bank headquarters is in Washington. So it is this
Washington
World Bank is providing the bank is providing different technical services as well. The bank can grant loan to the member country. Okay, the quantities of loan the interest rates and terms and conditions are determined by the bank itself, but in what quantity the loan will be granted, how much interest they will charge from you, and what are the different conditions that will actually be decided by the World Bank. Okay. Now, generally, the bank grant loan for particularly projects duly submitted to the bank by the member country. Member country need to explain that what project they will undertake in the future, so the bank will grant loan accordingly. The debtor nation has to repay either in return the debtor country has to repay the loan which was sanctioned to them. Okay, so once you as a country, if you're taking the financial assistance from World Bank, you have to repay back the amount which you are taking. The bank also provide loan to private investors belonging to member countries on its own guarantee. So for this, the private investor has to seek prior permission from the other countries whether this amount will be collected or not. So the bank, they also provide loan to the private investors which are belonging. If you are belonging to a country which and that country is the member of World Bank, then as a private individual also you can approach for the loan. So this is all about the World Bank. Okay, so briefly I've explained you the functions of World Bank. I've explained to you the different objectives of World Bank. So is it clear? Briefly I've explained this. Now I think I can shift to the next topic. Okay. So the next topic which I will discuss today will be
RBI.
RBI. RBI, you want?
IMF.
Okay, IMF, I'll start. IMF, I'll start. IMF. IMF. What is the full form of IMF?
International Monetary Fund.
And where is its headquarters located?
IMF.
Washington DC.
याद नहीं आ रहा मैम, जेनेवा
So
में शायद.
origin of IMF goes back
Where,
to
ma'am?
the America, Washington DC.
America. Oh.
Okay. So the origin of IMF, if quickly I will like to tell you, like when there is in 1930s, the days when the international chaos was going on, at that time, you know that IMF has come into existence. Actually, during 1930s, when there was a Second World War, for at that time the construction of this international institution was given a lot of importance, because because the countries at that time, they want financial assistance. Okay, so the IMF has also come forward and to help those countries. So during the Second World War, the plan for construction and international institutions for establishments of monetary fund was taken up. At the Bretton Woods Conference held in 1944, delegates from 44 non-communist countries negotiated that they want the structure and the operations of IMF. There must be some international monetary system which should be there. Okay, so the article of agreement of IMF provided the base for this international monetary system. Actually, the IMF actually commenced its financial operation on 1st March 1947. Okay, and officially, if we will say that officially it has come into existence during the date was 27 December 1945, when 29 countries has actually signed that article of agreement. Okay. Now, nearby 188 member countries are associated with IMF, and India is one of member of IMF. Okay, now we need to understand what are the objectives of this IMF. IMF का क्या objective है? तो quickly आप देख लें. To promote the international monetary cooperation through permanent institutions, okay, which provide the machineries like ये international monetary problems को sort out करने के लिए. For these, so these machineries will actually help for the different collaborations, will act for different consolations on international monetary policies. So the basic objective is to promote the international monetary cooperations. The second point is to facilitate the expansion and balanced growth of international trade. What do you mean by balanced growth? Balanced growth means that all the member countries should contribute in the promotion of the productive resources. They should also maintain a high level of employment, and all the members should also be the primary objective for all the member countries should be economic development, right? Next objective is to promote exchange development of productive resources of all the members are the primary objective of economic policy. Next, to promote the exchange stability, to avoid competitive exchange depreciation. If some depreciation is going on the exchange rate, then that has to be controlled. Okay. Actually, different safeguards has been provided, different opportunities are provided by the IMF so that you can correct the maladjustments which are there in the balance of payment. You can restore the destructions which has caused due to international war. So again, you can restore the national and the international prosperity of your country. So I must say that so IMF is a very good agency which will actually help the countries to restore the balance of payment also. It provide them with the opportunity to correct the maladjustments in balance of payment, to lessen the degree of disequilibrium in international balance of payment. So if there is a disequilibrium that is existing, that can also be removed. So these are the objectives of IMF. So अगर हम नट्सल में तुमको एक्सप्लेन करें तो हम ऐसे कह सकते हैं to promote the international cooperation, okay, to facilitate the expansion of balanced growth of international trade. Next point आप बता सकते हैं to promote the exchange stability. Okay, in brief way I am telling you the objectives. The objectives can be to make the general resource arrangement for its member countries so that they will not experience any balance of payment difficulties, right? Now next I'll move to the functions of IMF. So the principal function of IMF is to supervise the international monetary system. Supervise the international monetary system means that it will guarantee the credits to the member country. If there is any temporary balance of payment deficits are going on, then these IMF agencies will supervise that the international monetary system should work properly. There will be a surveillance which will be done. Surveillance over what? Surveillance over the monetary and the exchange rate policies of these member countries. Okay, and subsequently, the World Bank, the IMF will also provide certain kind of recommendations to you, and in a way you can say that IMF is actually providing three functions: regulatory functions also, okay, regulatory functions also, financial functions also, and consultative functions also. जहाँ पर regulatory functions मतलब the fund functions will be guarded by some code of rules कि कैसे दिया जाएगा. तो article of agreement जो मैंने बताया, so this article of agreement of IMF will actually help to understand that how the regulations will be there, how the code of conduct or code of rules will be set. Now, if I'm talking about the financial function, the financial function means that the agencies will provide resources to meet your short-term and medium-term requirements, so that the balance of disequilibrium which are being faced by the member country, that won't be there. अब मैंने एक वर्ड यूज किया कंसल्टेटिव फंक्शन. कंसल्टेटिव फंक्शन का मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब है कि IMF as an international body will provide to the source for technical assistance. The function of IMF will be there to provide the financial support to its member country. However, I should say that the granting of credit by IMF is not that easy. Such grantings of credit is subject to strict conditions. Okay, the conditionalities under which the IMF will grant the loan is actually under the full surveillance, and everything is being actually discussed beforehand. So the member countries need to be aware about the different rules and regulations, different code of conduct, what are the different concern. So the IMF will not only provide you financial support to overcome the BOP disequilibrium, but simultaneously it will also provide you some kind of knowledge, and counseling activities will also be performed, so that if you have any queries, any doubts, as a member country, you can ask these international bodies. Okay. So the main conditionality cause is the introduction of structural reform. Low-income countries draw attention of IMF in the early 1980s when many of them faced terrible balance of payment disequilibrium. ठीक है? तो जो low-income countries थे, they have taken much interest in IMF because they have the problem like balance of payment disequilibrium, or they have to repay the debts. Okay, so IMF insists this member country to implement the problems, to implement the programs so that they can tackle their macroeconomic instability. So not only in the micro level, but at macro level, the problems which the country were facing, those problems could be addressed. So the main elements are application of the principles of market economy, opening up the economy. So if you are a member of IMF, you are getting the support of it. That means you will be removed from all the problems. Okay. So this is how I've come to the end of this topic. Can I start with the next?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So briefly, I'm giving you the ideas so that this class should be useful to you. IMF के बारे में आप समझ गए. अब next जो है next I will try to discuss NIEO. Is it okay? NIEO I'll discuss. NIEO का full form बताइए. New
NIEO में
International Economic Order. New International Economic Order.
Okay.
ये क्या है? आप पढ़े हैं इसको? NIEO क्या है? NIEO का functions क्या है?
NIEO first time पढ़ रहे हैं.
अच्छा ठीक है. तो NIEO में मैं briefly बता देती हूँ. Over years आप देखेंगे the poor nations they have become increasingly aware of the inferior economic and political status in the world. जितनी गरीब countries थे, nations थे, they have actually realized that now the time has come that they have to develop. They were facing the problems like poverty, which has to be elevated, which has to be removed. Okay, so the people of those countries, they were in need of some basic necessities of life. Freedom was actually very much required by them. Okay, so these developing countries, they have also come forward so that they can get some favor from the rich countries. So in order to get the favor from the rich countries over the years, these poor nations, they have expressed their desire for material improvement. They want that there should be a political recognition through the economic strength. तो ये गरीब जो देश थे जिनके पास एक प्रॉपर रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं था, इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस नहीं था, so they also wanted that उनकी जो जरूरतें हैं material improvements की जो जरूरतें हैं वो पूरी होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. So because of that, you know, this so that is the reason why these less developed countries called for this new NIEO, which is an economic political concept that advocates the need for fundamental change in the conduct of international trade and economic development to redress the economic imbalances between the developed countries and their less developed counterpart. So basically इसमें समझने की बात यही है कि ये एक रिप्रेजेंटेशन था LDC के तरफ से, लेस डेवलप्ड कंट्री के तरफ से, so that they can improve their situations and they can have a better understanding about the different international trade concepts and conduct of different economic activities, so that the gap between these developed and underdeveloped countries can be removed. So NIEO is actually based on the equity, sovereignty, equality, common interest, cooperations among all the states, irrespective कि वो किस social या economic system से belong करते हैं. Okay, the objective of NIU is to correct the inequalities, redress the existing injustice, make it possible to eliminate the widening gap between whom? Between the rich, between the developed countries and the underdeveloped country, and to ensure that there should be a proper economic and social development. The acceleration of economic and social development should take place, and the peace and justice should reach to not only to the present generation but also to the future generations. Okay, तो ये एक आइडिया आपको मिला एनआईओ का. अब स्पेसिफिकली देखते हैं इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव है क्या. अगर आप बात कीजिए इसका ऑब्जेक्टिव का, तो फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव is to aim, the NIU aim at social justice among the trading countries, social justice मिलना, to suggest more equitable allocations of world resource, to seek to overcome the world mass misery and alarming disparities. जो दूरी था, जो गैप थी सोसाइटी में नेशन वाइज. So you can say that the NIO suggests that there should be equitable allocation of world resources. And how this equitable allocation of world resources will be possible? It will be possible through increased flow of aids, जो rich nation से poorer countries तक आनी चाहिए. Okay, so actually NIO seeks to overcome the mass misery which was there, and actually the living conditions of the rich and the poor should be improved. So this was the objective of NIO. Its aim is to provide poor nations increased participation. जितना भी poor representation है, that has to be improved. तो participation किस चीज में बताइए? Participation in the decision making process, international affairs, international level में जो भी decisions होता है, so this less developed country should get the benefit of proper representation. Okay, so NIO is actually an organization which ensures social justice. It seeks to restructure the existing institutions and form new organizations. क्यों? To regulate the flow of trade, to regulate the flow of technology, to regulate the flow of capital funds, and the purpose is to provide benefits in favor of LDC country, to provide to fulfill the common interest of the world global economy. Okay, so the spirit of NIO is that world without borders. एक ऐसा विश्व दुनिया होना चाहिए जहां borders नहीं हो, integration हो, people should come together, there should be proper trade, technology, fund, capital fund transfer. तो NIO का ये ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि पुअर कंट्रीज को भी हम एक अच्छा पार्टिसिपेशन दें. Okay, so the crucial aim of NIO is to promote economic development among the poor countries through self-help and south cooperations. NIO extend to deal, I'm just reading it out, okay, because quickly I'll try to cover the next topic also. इसको आप समझ लीजिए. NIO intends to deal with the major problems जैसे balance of payment disequilibrium हो, debts crisis हो, exchange scarcity हो. Okay, so there are different programs. NIO is not in favor of existing system of free market orientation. It is biased in the less developed countries through interventionist approach. Its action promotes programs narrates the need for more rapid economic development of poor countries. So हम ये चाहते क्या actually चाहते हैं कि there it is a line of action that adopts basically a discriminatory approach. आप बोलिएगा कि discriminatory approach मैडम बोल रही है. हाँ, discriminatory approach. Why I'm saying? Because the LDC country, the less developed countries needs to get a better platform, तो फेवर तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना. So the trade favorism NIO देना चाहता था, trade favorism, so that the LDC countries should increase their share in the world trade, and all the terms of trade should go in favor of these less developed countries, है ना. तो हम यही समझे
Yes.
NIO से कि it is an action program which is the objective is rapid economic development of the poor countries, increase the share of world trade. और हम क्या बोले इसमें यही है कि in order to provide give them a better opportunity so that they can operate well.
NIO इसका PPT भेजे हैं.
हाँ, PPTs भेजे हैं. ठीक है. So this is we have come to the end of NIO. Now can I switch to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. मैं दूसरा टॉपिक में जाती हूँ ताकि आपको एक नेक्स्ट टॉपिक आई थिंक आई शुड डिस्कस RBI.
Yes,
RBI
ma'am,
को
RBI.
डिस्कस करते. This is one of the most important topic also, and I should also brief कि RBI क्या है, कैसे है, क्यों है. ठीक है. तो RBI में अगर हम जाए तो RBI में बताने के लिए आपको RBI तो आप लोग बहुत हद तक हम तो क्विकली भी जा सकते हैं. RBI is actually the Central
Yes,
Bank of India. We all know it is the apex body. थोड़ा PPT भी साथ साथ देखते रहो. Okay, it is one of the main governing
It is also
bodies
head
or the regulatory body in India. It helps the government in its role as a bank, as a business facilitator. So RBI was first established in the year
Bank.
1935, nationalized हुआ 1949 में. Governing body of RBI is done according to the RBI Act of the government. ठीक है. अब हम इसमें आगे बढ़ते हैं. RBI का मेन फंक्शंस क्या है? RBI का मेन फंक्शंस क्या है? सॉरी, मैंने पीपीटी चेंज कर. RBI का मेन फंक्शंस क्या है, इसको हमको देखना है. ओके. तो पहला फंक्शन क्या लिखे हैं हम? इश्यू ऑफ बैंक नोट्स. Just wait for a while. Okay. Now, okay. The first function इसको बहुत ही हम समझा देते हैं. इश्यू ऑफ बैंक नोट्स का क्या मतलब है? RBI is the agency. RBI is actually the sole right is with the RBI. Okay. तो हम इश्यू ऑफ करेंसी के बारे में बात करें, नोट्स के बारे में बात करें. The RBI is actually having the full autonomy to issue the notes. Main thing is that RBI has to maintain the uniformity in the notes. Uniform रखना है ना? It makes possible effective state supervision. It tries to keep the faith of the common people of the country intact in the paper currency. हम आपको बहुत पहले मनी जब पढ़ा रहे थे तब आपको बताए थे कि करेंसी में लोगों का फेथ होना चाहिए. So RBI main objective is to keep a faith of the people in the paper currency, right? So it is very much important that RBI should control and regulate the credit in accordance with the requirement of currency, currency in the economy. So RBI will have to see that how much credit needs to be circulated, that has to be taken care. Okay. Now the next point is bankers to government. Can anybody explain me this? What do I mean by, what do you mean by bankers to government? Bankers to the
Government
government
need any kind of
Reserve Bank manages the banking need of government also. Okay. So it has to maintain and operate the government deposit account also. It can collect receipts of fund and make payments of government also. It represents, what should I say? It represents the government of India. जैसे हम अभी तुमको World Bank बता रहे थे, IMF बता रहे थे. So the RBI also represents the government of India as a member of IMF and World Bank. So ये सिर्फ एक common people का ही बैंक के हेड नहीं है, बल्कि it is a banker to the government also. So RBI is also performing the banking needs. It is also looking into the banking needs of the government in terms of receiving the funds and making payments on behalf of whom? On behalf of the government. The next point is written as custodian of cash reserves of commercial bank. The commercial bank holds a deposit in RBI, we all know, and so the RBI is actually the custody place of cash reserves of the commercial bank. Commercial bank always needs a part of their cash in RBI. So in that way, I'm saying that RBI is the custodian of cash reserves of commercial bank. Next point is custodian of currencies of countries' foreign currency. Now we all know that RBI has the custody of countries' reserve. Countries' reserve का मतलब countries' international currency. Okay, so this enables the RBI to deal at the time of crisis, to deal at the time of adverse balance of payment position. So इसमें हम यही कहेंगे कि RBI also need to look into the country's current economic scenario, and also they have to look into the crisis and how they will connect with the adverse balance of payment. Last point is lender of last resort. The commercial bank, we all know that हाँ, इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब है कि approach the RBI in terms of emergency. ठीक है, if commercial bank is facing any kind of emergencies, any kind of financial difficulties, then RBI comes forward to rescue the different commercial banks. Okay, so मैं यही बंद करती हूँ. ये स्लाइड एक और था. At glance में आप देख लेना, सेंट्रल क्लियरेंस एंड अकाउंट सेटलमेंट, कंट्रोलर ऑफ क्रेडिट, और लास्ट स्लाइड था फंक्शन ऑफ आरबीआई, इश्यू ऑफ करेंसी, बैंकर्स टू बैंक, जो आप मैंने आपसे डिस्कस किया है, बैंकर्स टू अदर बैंक, रेगुलेटरी ऑफ फॉरेन एक्सचेंज एंड कंट्रोल क्रेडिट. इसका पूरा एक्सप्लेनेशन आपके पीपीटी में है, देख लीजिएगा. ठीक.